Feed efficient cattle mean more profitable cattle, marketing options online, recaps, reports, and so much more. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us as we ranch it up. I'm Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
And this is Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Bec.
A big thank you goes out to our Ranch It Up lineup, the American Gelding Association, Abrahamson Rodeo Company, Westway Feed Products, Neogen, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler. To start things out, we want to give a big Ranch It Up tip of the hat to the newest member of our crew, and that's Jamie Hawley.
Welcome aboard, Jamie.
She is behind the scenes and makes sure that everything is happening the way that it needs to be happening. So if I yell at you, Jamie, don't take it personally. It's a working pen woes, that's how it works. You're just in the line of fire of the T-Man. That's what happened. But Jamie, so glad to have you aboard. She takes care of all kinds of different stuff when it comes to this program, to the Ben program, to our daily shows, to you name it. She's takes care.
Our extra eyes and ears. When we can't do it, she does it.
So glad to have her on board. And she wrote a beautiful tribute to the American cowboy because depending upon when you're listening to this, Saturday the 23rd is Day of the Cowboy.
So head to the Ranch It Up Show Facebook page and read her excellent tribute to the Day of the Cowboy. And be sure to share it, love it, like it. You know what to do with it. Jamie, welcome aboard.
Now, this is a big one in the news. Tyson ordered to pay millions in damages to a cattle producer. A jury in New Mexico has ordered a cattle producer a multi-million-dollar judgment against Tyson Fresh Meats Incorporated over a contract dispute. A final judgment entered by the U.S. District Court judge ordered Tyson to pay more than $2.5 million in actual damages and another $8 million in punitive damages to Zia Agricultural Consulting, LLC. The Albuquerque-based Zia had sued Tyson in May of 2020, alleging the packer had breached a 2019 premium contract after it failed to pay $2.488 million. Zia was to provide several thousand head of premium cattle, which were suitable for Whole Foods Global Animal Partnership Certified Program and the NHTC program, non-hormone treated cattle. The jury found that Zia and Tyson did, in fact, have a contract and that Tyson had breached such contract and the implied promise of good faith and fair dealing while making a fraudulent misrepresentation to Zia. I'm going to say, heck yeah, a big win for us. Now, if we could only do that another 150,000 times.
Let's keep the success stories going. U.S. House Agriculture Committee Chairman David Scott announced late last week that he intends to introduce legislation aimed at helping smaller beef farmers and ranchers. Scott said help for those smaller producers has been missing, but is one of his top priorities. Scott said his bill will apply to small family farms and ranches. According to the USDA, the average beef cattle herd is 44 head, and operations of 100 or fewer beef cattle account for 90% of all farms and 44% of the beef cattle inventory. Scott said, yet we are losing an average of 17,000 cattle ranchers per year. This is a national crisis. While the announcement did not provide many details, Scott said the bill would create a new program that strengthens the federal safety net and makes insurance products work better for the small cattle farmers and ranchers, both in terms of coverage and accessibility.
Now, before we get into our sale barn report, which I know a lot of you are looking forward to, we really need to address this drought situation that is affecting much of the country. It is actually devastating. Listen to this. We're got major drought in Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, absolutely hammered, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does. With lots of pairs and cattle needing to be liquidated because of the lack of feed, listen up. We are going to start up our own hay report once again.
Revving it back up again. Yep.
Share with us feed prices in your area by calling or texting 707-RANCH-20. Again, that's 707-RANCH-20, or email ranchitupshow@gmail.com.
Our sale barn report is a big one from Superior Livestock. Week in the Rockies, their sale. Going to recap this one. Pay close attention to the numbers of the region that you're in and the weight classes that you may have for sale. But here's what I need to bring to your attention, and Kirk and I are going to be addressing this here in the next few weeks, and that is these prices are relative. Although they are attractive, remember, where is your break even? Are these prices that we are receiving, are they at a point where you are making a profit? Do you know what that break even is? That's so darn important. Remember, these prices are relative to your operation and what it takes to raise 1 pound of gain on those calves. For a full recap, go to superiorlivestock.com. Region 1, Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, and Nevada. I'm just going to talk a few here. The 6 to 635 weight steers, $1.70.5 up to $2.22. 6.5 to 690 weight steers, $1.81 up to $2. Region 2, Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, and the Dakotas. 6 to 640 weight steers, $1.80 up to $234.5, and then 6.5 to 685 weight steers at $1.77 up to $226. Region 3, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. 6 to 640 weight steers, $1.62 to $215. 6.5 to 690 weights, $1.56 to $210. Region 4, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Wisconsin, and Illinois. 6 to 635 weight steers, $1.83 to $210.5. 6.5 to 675 weight steers, $1.91 to $202. Region 5, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and Georgia. 6.5 to 680 weight steers, $1.56 to $1.87. And then Region 6 in the Northeast, 6 1/4 weight steers at $1.67.
Hey, it's Mark Van Zee with LivestockMarket.com. Wanted to touch base with you guys on some stuff. I thought it might be interesting. We're all seeing a lot of cows getting sold down south right now. Obviously, everybody knows about that. I ran some numbers because we've been selling a lot of them on our online auction too, so I thought you guys might enjoy seeing what we're seeing. And the average, our online auction average on bred cows coming out of Texas was about $12.50 a head. And I did the same thing for pairs. And on pairs out of Texas, we are averaging $1,400 a pair right now. And that's, like I say, that's all bred cows and that's pairs, and it's basically all out of Texas. And I thought that may be helpful. I know a lot of listeners are down in Texas. And so I thought I'd give you guys kind of a benchmark on what we've been seeing. If you're in a position where you're looking at selling some cows or some pairs, I would encourage you to reach out to us. We've got coming up on August 3rd, I'll have a full sale bill here for you next week. But coming up on August 3rd, we're having a bred cow and pair auction, and the stuff out of Texas has been holding up pretty good, pretty dang good on our online auctions. And the best part about it, I was talking to a producer down there this morning, and he had 17 pairs, and he was looking at putting them on that auction. And he could about kissed me when I said it was going to be 2%. It's basically a 2% commission. There's obviously no yardage involved because it's an online auction. So it is a very fast, very effective, very low-cost way if you need to get some stock moved. So that bred cow and pair auction is going to be August 3rd. If you got anything that you'd like to put on it, give us a holler, 844-775-4762. Or you can check us out online, livestockmarket.com. If you haven't been on the website yet, you can submit a listing there. You can mark it that you want to be on an auction, and a rep will get in touch with you, and you guys can put them on that sale. But anyway, if that helps, please let us help you. Take care, everybody.
Coming up after the break, we talk the Vytelle top 150 proven bulls when it comes to feed efficiency, residual feed intake, feed efficiency. Casey Fanta will be our guest.
The feed efficiency part of it, I mean, it pertains to everything.
Stick around. We'll be right back. This coming from our partners from Neogen. Now, over the next several months, we will be bringing you insect control solutions, money-saving tips, how to establish biosecurity during a time of pinching pennies, all that and lots more from our crew from Neogen. Want to add just a little bit of spice to your event, your customer appreciation supper, your banquet, your meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, bring in us, Bec and I, as your keynote speakers, hosts, MCs, a host couple. We'll make them laugh, even cry tears of joy. Call us today. Crew, it's super easy to get a hold of the Boss Lady and I, and we want to hear any beef that you may have, or maybe just let us know what's happening out there in cow country. 707-RANCH-20 is the hotline. Leave us a voicemail or fire us a text. 707-RANCH-20. Check out livestockmarket.com. Sales manager for livestockmarket.com, Mark Vanzi.
Livestockmarket.com is a centralized online platform for online sales of all types of livestock, as well as hay and straw.
Livestockmarket.com is brought to you by Tractor House and Auction Time, the industry-leading marketplace for connecting buyers and sellers of farm equipment. The online platform that works without all the restrictions. Livestockmarket.com. On Facebook, too.
Upcycling and efficiency, powered by liquid feed and protein and mineral tub supplements from Westway Feed Products, all designed to complement your forages. At Westway Feed Products, we create cow herd efficiency one lick at a time.
Making cattle more profitable. That's what we're trying to do. Trying is the key word here, but here's my question to you. Do you really know that certain genetics are more profitable than others? Are you sure about that? We breed cattle, raise cattle, feed cattle, harvest cattle, repeat. That's the process. So let's break it down to its pure basic equation. Feed efficiency equals making cattle profitable, making cattle more profitable. Accurately, though. We need to be accurate to make sure that the matings are what we need and what we want. Breeding for feed efficiency is one thing, but making sure the accuracy is another, and that's where Vytelle comes in. Vytelle recently announced the release of the top 150 proven bulls. Now, together with more than 30 of their network partners, Vytelle is sharing high-accuracy bulls that have risen to the top of more than 94,000 animals of 25 different breeds and more than 289,000 RFI EPDs, residual feed intake EPDs. Now we're talking accuracy. One of those partners is Wolf Cattle. Now, Wolf Cattle started in the 1970s, and today they market over 600 Limousine, Limflex, and Angus bulls annually and feed over 100,000 head that are influenced by Wolf genetics. Casey Fanta is the seed stock manager for Wolf Cattle, and we find out why they are using Vytelle systems to determine that accuracy of their genetics and ultimately in their bulls that they want to market to you and I.
Our main goal there is to find our best sire groups and keep going forward from there. We want to find the feed efficiency in the select bulls, which everybody gets excited when you find one that does really, really well, gains really well and does it on a minimal amount of feed. But ultimately for us, it's finding the sires that are most predictable and just keep going forward with those, because we want to be able to reproduce it. We've been pretty successful doing that. I mean, we keep using those high efficiency sires and now we're seeing the results. I mean, we can predict a lot better how they're going to perform and who doesn't want feed efficiency in the day of high input costs and high feed costs, and who can say that they don't want good feed efficiency? We still select for everything else. I mean, just because they performed well for feed efficiency, it's just like every other trait. They can be knocked out, because they don't have the right disposition. They can be knocked out because they don't have proper structure or the best feet or fertility or what have you. So it's just like every other trait. They have to have, they have to be adequate in all of the traits to remain in our breeding program. As far as the sires go, I've always kind of used a kind of a law of thirds. So the bulls that are in the top 1/3 are the bulls that we put the heaviest emphasis on in our breeding program. The bulls that kind of fall in that next third, or middle per se, we'll use those bulls if they do other things very well and specific, like maternal or structure or whatever. If there's something that we want to keep using in the program, we'll still use that second, third of our sire grouping. And then the bottom 1/3 for feed efficiency, if they fall there, they just fall out of our program. It doesn't matter, what else there is. It's just something that I've used to kind of get those bulls out of our program and keep pumping up the feed efficiency. So
now, if and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Casey, but if I'm going to kind of make a comparison, if you will, I'm going to say feed efficiency, or maybe a formula, I should say, feed efficiency equals making profitable cattle. That's the equation. That's kind of how I look at this. So, number one, would you agree with it? Is that accurate for me to say that type of formula?
Well, it's definitely a major driver, because if you can feed those cattle, more economically, it's going to definitely add to your bottom line. Now, you can't give up average daily gain,
Right.
You can't give up muscle or anything to do it. But if you have the cattle that are making the same gains and making the same type of carcasses with the muscle and the marbling that's in demand, if that animal converts better than the next one, it's going to make you more money. It's just that's just pretty simple math.
How has been the customers that are coming to your bull sale and are looking at that there's a lot of emphasis and information about feed efficiency? Are they able to use that in terms of making bull selection? And then in return, are they able to pass that information along to those buyers, to those feed yards, so that type of genetics and that data kind of gets tagged along with those calves, if you will, and it's kind of part of their options, their bill of sale going on to that next generation?
Yeah, so we have done a lot on that front. We do publish the performance information at the time of the bull sale, and we do pass that along to the customers. A lot of times we are their customer buying their calves back. So that is one of the reasons that we know how important it is for us to implement that into their cow herds. It can sometimes be hard to explain and hard to even figure out. So I've talked about the sires that we use and knowing which sires do the best at passing on the feed efficiency. We build our bulls in such a way that we hope that they all have high feed efficiency somewhere down the line. Of course, that never quite happens, but if they have the right genetics, they always have the ability to do so. The one thing about the other thing on feed efficiency is I said we were testing bulls. It just so happens that works the best for us because we're developing those bulls in our yards and whatnot. Not saying it wouldn't be important to do females. We just have never done that. But my belief is that if their feed efficiency, as on the bulls, the mates to those bulls are going to be equally as feed efficient. So we've tested bulls in different situations. We test on a little bit higher energy ration than what some of the other bull tests do. But the interesting thing is the cattle that are genetically feed efficient usually tend to do well no matter what type of feed system they're put on. So it is highly heritable. We feel it's very highly heritable, and we just want to keep including those traits in all of the cattle that we can and in our breeding program and get those feed efficient cattle out to our customers so that the calves we buy back are going to be as economical to feed as possible and hopefully show up on our bottom line. Vytelle produces a top 150 sire list every year, and that list was just released here in the last month or so. Mm-hmm. And one of our bulls is at the top of that list, and then what's even more impressive than that is he has a son that's at number 4. In addition to that, he's got another son that's beaten both of them at this point. He's just not proven enough to make that list as of yet. Out of the top 150 most proven bulls in not just the country, but in the world, we put about 12 bulls on that list that are from our program. that are proven high feed efficiency. And that being said, I mean, there has to be a significant number of progeny tested from those bulls to make this listing. But like I had said before, we believe in the genetics, and we know which genetics can do it, and we keep stacking those genetics on top of one another and just making it that much more predictable. That we know those cattle are going to be efficient to feed, and they're eventually, they're going to save us a lot of money.
Thank you, Casey. We will have more with Casey coming up the next several months, discussing those cattle on feed, the genetic lineup for the fall of 2022 and the winter of 22 and the spring of 2023, plus highlights of their program. Now, to find out more of the top 150 proven bulls from the Vytelle network, head to Vytelle.com. Up next, your market recap and more numbers when we come back. Lots of you have asked that we cover this one, and we're happy to oblige. Over the next several weeks, we'll be hearing from our big three. That's RCAF USA, the USCA, and NCBA, each getting to share their thoughts of the current cattle environment, good, bad, and ugly. A couple of buzzwords flying around the industry lately. Regenerative ag, not new, but maybe new to you. What is regenerative ag? How does it work? Can I use it? Does it make a difference? We answer all that in the weeks to come right here on the Ranch It Up Radio Show.
The necessities of life: food, water, shelter.
And your favorite radio hosts. This is Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
Tigger.
And Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Bec.
Bec.
Join us every week right here for the Ranch It Up Radio Show.
And the Bend Radio Show.
We talk cattle, market, sale barn reports, news,
Cooking, lifestyle, outdoors, recreation.
and everything in between.
And there's a lot in between.
Ranch It Up.
And the Bend. Every week we hear from one of our great partners with updates, info, schedules, reports, and everything in between when it comes to buying and selling livestock and hay online and private treaty. Livestockmarket.com. On Facebook, increase herd performance, complement your forages, get more cows bred. It's upcycling and efficiency, powered by Westway Feed Products. At Westway Feed Products, we create cow herd efficiency one lick at a time.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for hanging with us. Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. Kirk, what do the numbers look like?
Well, we'll jump right into it, Tigger. As of Friday, July 15th, August feeders closed 176.60, up a very solid $4.77.5, with a CME feeder index closing at 172.62, up $4.23, leaving our basis on current delivery cattle a negative 373, which is a pretty reasonable number. Of note, the basis on the superior or northern or western videos on a 6-weight steer has narrowed to a plus 20 or 25. And for those readers of the newsletter, it was running about plus 30 or 35 before the board moved higher. August live closed 134.95, up $1.02.5, with cash trading 136 to 137 in the south and 140 to 150 in the north. You'll notice that's the lowest number we've seen in the north in quite some while, leaving the 5-area weighted average down $2.28 at 142.09, and a basis at positive $7.14. So that basis is also narrowing up a little bit, with probably a little more to go. Our weekly slaughter came in at 677,000. That's a very salty number, up 27,000 head over last year. And choice boxes closed at 268.91. Up $1.02. You'll notice with the very salty slaughter number, boxes still closed higher, and that's with the production at 1.2% over last year. So we got higher prices on higher production. December corn closed 605. That's down 20.5 cents on the week. We got heat as a bullish market mover and a chart as a bearish indicator with a bunch of technical damage. Of note, corn has a lot of support around 540 and 480.
Kirk, people that have been receiving the newsletter, which anybody can, by the way, just text the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777. So those of us that are getting the newsletter, we're following along, we're listening to you and I talk every single week. Now they want to visit a little bit more. They want to take this to the next step. they need some help in marketing. All of us do. What is that next step? Is it to get a hold of you, or how does that work?
Absolutely. Just reach out and get a hold of me. The best is email, and that's Kirk, Kirk, .Donsbach, DONSBACH, @stonex.com. And I can always get around to my email at some point in the day. Either that or give me a call. I am in the midst of haying right now, so I might be a little bit hard to get a hold of. But that number is 406-301-8139.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Let me jump in here with a big tip of the hat to all of those producers who are fighting drought and wildfire, being forced to liquidate herds.
You know, we were in that position the last couple of years, so we know what they're going through.
Well, please reach out. Let us know how we can help, and know that you are all in our thoughts and prayers.
And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours. Mark Vanzi with LivestockMarket.com, Casey Fanta with Wolf Cattle, Kirk Donsbach with StoneX Financial Incorporated, and, of course, the Boss Lady Bec sitting right over there.
A big thank you to our partners, the American Galvay Association, Abrahamson Rodeo Company, Westway Feed Products, Neogen, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com, and you can call and text us 24/7 at 707-RANCH20. That's 707-RANCH20. Spread the good word and join us again next week, where it's always Tigger approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.